How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rumour, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today we're going to be covering some stuff that potentially could be having some value to it, which is very interesting. So before we get started with that, guys, we have to establish a few things. Now, I also got some things over here on my second monitor, which I'll be popping up in a second, which you guys need to see to understand what's going on here. Plus and minus is going to make a lot of sense in a second here. But, yeah, give me a moment, guys, and we'll take a look at what's going on here. So, first things first, what are we talking about? Well, basically, I got a message sent to me here by Ali Gengar on freaking Twitter here. So, big thank you to Ali Gengar, by the way, for hitting me up with this. And I actually looked at this, and I was like, dude, this is actually really intriguing. So, what is this all about? Well, basically, Gamefreak on Twitter tweeted out a little Christmas photo here with something included in it, or some Easter eggs included in it, that really are intriguing. Now, we'll get to those in a second. But let's start with this first, guys. So let's see what this message said here from Ali Gengar, and let's see what he's talking about. So he says, "Hey, Rumour, or my Twitter @ which is RigPop420, which by the way, give me a follow. This image has some Easter eggs in it. They may even hint at Generation 8. On that bench, you can see a Minun and Plusle. Could this hint at the highly rumored Pokemon Plus and Minus? And from what I can see, that globe focused more on North and South America." Yeah, you're right. It did. So, let's take a look at the actual tweet from, Gamefreak here and see what it's all about. So, first things first, you may notice this was tweeted officially by Gamefreak_info, which is, I guess, the official Gamefreak, account. Now, I think they have several. I think this is one of the main ones. I know there is another one. I'm certain there is another one. Which, by the way, also, that looks adorable. That shit, it looks adorable. So they have also larger images. You can see the whole tree here, with Mew on the top here, and another Mew down here, a little freaking Steel, and freaking is that Lucario? Yeah, Munchlax, etc. Yeah, you got a little bit of an interesting mixture of things here. Pikachu, etc. It's a nice mix. Charmander down here as well. Now, that's just a tree, but what do we have in the actual image here? Well, as he mentioned, right here we have Minun and Plusle. And where are those? Well, they're right there on the table. I don't know if you guys can see them. I've got a larger image right here that kind of enhances it all. But there you go, guys. Right there. Right there we have Minun and Plusle. Now, why are these two Pokemon specifically very intriguing to see here in a picture just like this? Because this is a very specific picture, right? There's no way that Game Freak, including Game Freak, Masuda, all these people, they never do something like this or post something without a bit of a meaning behind it, right? They usually, when they do an image like this, why wouldn't you do just an image with, like, the Game Freak logo and just, like, your Christmas tree, and that's it, right? Why would you do it like this? Why would you do it, like, like this specifically? Because it's very different, dude. So first things first, right? Minun and Plusle. Now, why are these two Pokemon, in particular, very special here? Well, because they're the Plus and Minus Pokemon. Now, why are those intriguing? Well, because right over here on my second monitor, I've got something that you guys may have not heard about, but maybe you have if you've been watching this channel for a while. I've covered this in the past. It's a old rumor known as Pokemon Plus and Minus, which was posted about 3 years ago from, this was 10 months ago, So, yeah, it was posted basically back in, 2016, 2015? This was back when Sun and Moon wasn't even announced yet. This was posted, and officially, this actually stated that the next Pokemon game had started development, which, on the next console of the Switch, right? Or, sorry, next console of Nintendo, aka the Switch, or at the time, the rumored NX, right? Which NX ended up being the Switch. So, this rumor has a different, an interesting level of, I would say validity to it, but it's kind of hard to, give it that an exact, oh, this is exactly what it is, because we don't know yet, right? We don't know if that's actually what, if this is real or not, if this changed. Again, the names could have changed and all that stuff, but let's take a look at here what the, rumor actually said. We'll actually take a look at the actual game FAQs here as well. And we'll cover the image as well, guys. Again, we'll go back to this and we'll cover some other, interesting parts. So first things first. First off, I ran into this post from Game FAQs from 3 years ago, which is this one right here, which says, rereading this, after hearing about Nintendo's upcoming Fusion project, also a rumor, kind of makes this rumor seem more likely, wouldn't you think? What are your thoughts? Here's the rumor for those who have yet to see it. Game Freak were one of the first development studios inside Nintendo to receive alpha prototype hardware, now have been upgraded to beta prototype hardware above. This was 4 years ago, by the way. This is before the Switch was even, officially revealed. On sale. Game Freak plans to completely overhaul the basic systems of battle, simplifying the process. The development team is going to put a lot of ideas they haven't been able to do for years in this game. 2 versions already have code names, possibly final, Pokemon Plus and Minus. Now, do you see what I mean? Pokemon Plus and Minus. Now, what's interesting about these two Pokemon, right? It's the Plus and the Minus Pokemon. Now, why are they in this image? You know what I mean? Think about it this way, right? Why are they in such a weird image? Why are they included? Is it a reference, or is it literally just, you know, hey, we just like plus and minus, you know, plus and, you know, whatever, you know, we put them there because, you know, they're cool. Would they really do that? Would they really do that, or would it be related to, you know, the Rumour from the past? Now, remember, this Rumour was talking about access to a prototype and alpha prototype hardware way ahead of time. And why is this interesting? Well, because that is kind of true already. We know that that's been confirmed. Not that Gamefreak had it, but that at least, you know, companies, our first-party companies with Nintendo did have access to it early. And how do we know this? Because basically, ladies and gentlemen, it was proven that the guys who were making Splatoon 2, or, you know, the studios making Splatoon 2, did have access to it as well. Before it was officially, you know, fully, released, or fully revealed rather. They had the alpha prototype hardware of the console, of the Switch, to work on and make the game. They had the prototype, so to say. They did have their hands on it to make games or prepare games, or at least, like, you know, make up a little bit of a general idea of what they're going to be doing for the games. They did have it. So, I mean, in all honesty, do we really want to deny the fact that maybe, you know, Game Freak had it as well? Being Game Freak is one of the biggest companies that works for, like, you know, for Nintendo, one of the biggest companies that makes one of their biggest franchises, literally just slightly underneath Super Mario in terms of, like, you know, best-selling Nintendo games, so to say. I think it's like Super Mario, then it's Pokemon, and then everything else below that. But, like, it's like one of the best-selling franchises for Nintendo. So, of course, you know, why wouldn't the Pokemon Company or Game Freak be receiving it as well? I mean, I feel like they would be the first ones to receive it, you know, for sure. We don't know yet, because they haven't told us. We probably will know by the time, you know, we actually see the full-on, like, everything's revealed about Gen 8 and all stuff in the future. They probably will do, like, a little interview thing, like, oh, yeah, we had access to the, you know, to the Switch, like, you know, in 2014, 2015, in the alpha prototype version and the beta prototype version of the games, or of the consoles, rather, and we were able to make the games from that. But we read the rest of the actual Rumour here, which has a lot of really weird stuff in it, which doesn't align well with the other stuff in this image here. So let's go into the next part here, which is this right here, which is actually North and South America. Now, here's what the tweet actually said here. So, good morning, everyone, today. And then they do a hashtag right there, which I don't know what that says because it's not translated. Let's do our best this week. Speaking of which, Christmas is coming soon, but you are already prepared for something. But are you already prepared for something? I tried to hashtag set up a Christmas tree at the entrance. Now, why is this intriguing to me? Well, because are you prepared for something? Are you prepared? What would we be prepared for? What's up, Game Freak? What are we talking about here, dude? What are we talking about? Now, there are a few things that should be coming this month, in December. The Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution movie, which would make sense here, you know, having Mew here, you know, on the actual tree. As you can see right here, guys, you see you've got Mew at the top and Mew down here at the bottom. You know, Mew from the top, maybe North America, and Mew at the bottom from South America, being a reference to, I guess, the Mewtwo Strikes Back movie, original one, where I think the scientists were in South America, searching for Mew. Being that probably might be a reference there. Who knows? But that could be it. And of course, we know that the next movie is called Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. Literally the same title, with just evolution added at the end, which could again be hinting at something very big. And I'm very intrigued to know, you know, what this is all about, what's happening, and what we're going to be seeing here. Now, again, really intriguing that they have this half of the, you know, the Earth here. Like, we're literally, why would you only have one part of it and only showing the part of the world, you know, where North America can be seen and South America can be seen? There is no Japan here. I can't see Japan anywhere on the map. Japan should be, you know, further to, you know, I guess, well, whatever way you put it, it should be pretty far away. You know, left, right, etc. Whichever way you go, it's pretty far away. So, you know, why isn't Japan there? You know, it's Game Freak. It's a Japanese company. It's, you know, situated, you know, in Japan. Why do we not see it here? It's very intriguing and very confusing. So I get very interested in, you know, knowing, like, what is going on here? Like, what is the deal with this? Now, let's continue to see if there's anything else in these images. Of course, again, the tree is a mixture of Pokemon. A few Gen 4 Pokemon, you know, I noticed, like, you know, Lucario, and I guess Munchlax was Gen 4? I can't remember. But of course, Sfeel being from Gen 3, and etc. I'm not sure what that is right there, that little green part. I can't really tell, but whatever it may be, doesn't really matter that much. It's not really super important to this. There are a few boxes around here and all that. So let's go back to the actual plus and minus Rumour, which again is the one that kind of defines all of the stuff here. Also, let's see what this says. This year's Christmas tree is like this. The company is happy to prepare for this kind of Christmas in the company. So again, I don't know. Really sketchy shit. My phone is always blowing up. But again, really sketchy shit and weird shit going on with your boys from Gamefreak, which always get me intrigued, dude, because I love Gamefreak. No matter how many times I get like annoyed at some of the things they do, I still love Gamefreak. They are a great company, and also I would really love to check out some of these videos and see if like anybody translated these, because it's like these are the employees there, I guess. So I'd love to hear what they have to say. Also, nice artwork. I like it. It's pretty cool. But, okay, back to the actual rumor here. So, this is the one I was talking about again, which is why it's so strange to see, right there they are again. They have this as their banner here now. And look at that, plus and, Plusle and Minin here again. There they are. Again, just chilling on that table. Next to whatever this may be. It looks like a phone. I might be wrong here. I'm not sure what that is. They got a Pikachu over there. But why are they there? It's so strange to me to see them in here. Again, you could argue that it's just, whatever. It's no big deal. Maybe it's just those specific figurines have a Christmas relation to them or something, like that. You could be right, but I don't know. I just think it's interesting they're there. So it kind of brings me back to the plus and minus rumor, which I really want to talk about because this is one of the most interesting rumors that has existed, but never really was, denied or anything, because it was never given a date for when this project was supposed to be created, or finished rather, or released, or shown off. So let's continue here. The development team is going to be a lot of ideas. The team is old tradition versus new exploration, which we've heard this old tradition versus new exploration from other people as well. New region, no name yet, is based on Southeast Asia with one large peninsula and many smaller islands. Again, connecting also to Piuk's rumor, which I'll go back to Piuk's rumor very soon in another video. Jeez, dying inside. 3 new starters with no names. Water evolves into water steel and is a squat. Teardrop-shaped humanoid that has a jar filled with on its head, and it evolves. It grows taller and the jar bigger until it needs another set of arms to hold it on its head. Fire evolves into a fire fairy and is a tiny cute goat with fire blowing out of its horns. Its horns and look evolves more menacing until it has curly rams like horns and the motorcycle hot rod look like. Grass evolves into grass electric and starts with a leap for a face, with a nubby root as a body, and evolves until it grows into electric producing palm tree, with each flower petal having a different face. So these sound ludicrous. I think this part of the actual rumor is the one that's like most likely gotten things wrong. Again, I think the name seems reasonable for a code name. Plus and minus might be the code names. But for the most part, I think most of this other stuff might not be for real. Because I feel like plus and minus seems like a reasonable code name. I mean, think about it, right? You got the Switch, which, by the way, I am, currently catching a few Magikarps for a video. But, you got your, your Joy-Cons. They look essentially just like plus and minus. You got your positive and your negative, right? And that's the interesting part about this whole thing, which always gets me so intrigued about plus and minus. It doesn't, when you think about it, it's like not really a very creative name. It's like, oh yeah, you took literally the most commonplace thing you could possibly take from, the Switch and use that. But you seriously think about it, right? You even got it right here, you know what I mean? The red being your plus and the blue being your minus, right? So why wouldn't you codename your game plus and minus? Maybe if that even is just the only thing about this that is real, being the code names, that wouldn't really be surprising. Pretty much pretty awesome. Now, this guy also summarized a few things here, saying, Gamefreak plans to completely overhaul the basic system of the battle, simplifying the process. Theme is old tradition versus new exploration. More traditional Pokemon-like gameplay will be on a handheld controller, while an all-new gameplay aspect will be on the terminal unit. So, this is the interesting part, guys. Look at this, right? What's said right here, which I think is mentioned in this full-on thing here as well, because literally this whole thing is just referencing back to this. Routes connecting to the island together are water bridges, but clumps of islands are connected together by underwater tunnels. Either way, I'm not sure if that's true, but this right here is another interesting part, guys. More traditional Pokemon-like gameplay. Remember what a specific person by the name of Ishihara said about Pokemon 2019? It's going to be more akin to your normal Pokemon-like gameplay, right? There's going to be more traditional gameplay in the style of a handheld, right? In the handheld style. Now, this was, again, guys, this was this original rumor here. Now, this post was from the 10 months ago, but the original info here comes from a 4-year-old post, right? Now, why is this interesting? Because they didn't know the Switch existed back then. They didn't know that the Switch existed back then 4 years ago. It wasn't knowledge, right? This was back in, like, what, 2014 then? That's when this was posted. There was no knowledge that the Switch was going to be the way it is right now, the way we see it, right? And it says here, handheld controller with an all-new gameplay aspect. Will be, an all-new games will be on the terminal unit. So, this literally it feels to me like this might be a mixture of several things, right? It feels like this could have been a mixture of like Alola, you know, like Alola, Let's Go, and Gen 8. This is what like the plus and minus rumor feels like to me. This feels like people were handpicked some info that was just thrown at them, but that info wasn't from one game. It was from several games. Because remember, we now officially know that Game Freak works on up to 4 games at the same time nowadays. They work on Town, they work on Let's Go, they worked on Gen 8, and they worked on Pokemon Quest at the same time. If each one of those games were given at least 2 years of development in the last 2 years, they've all been developed for at least 2 years together at the same time. We know Gen 8 is most likely been developed for about 4 years by the time it comes out next year, so it's been in development for about 3 years now, but next year when it comes out, it's going to be 4 years development. We know Let's Go took 2 years to complete with 100 employees, so we know that also took 2 years, which means that literally if we go back to from 2018 back to like what 2016, that's when, you know, Let's Go was started development, but at the same time Gen 8 was also still in development to be released in 2019. But on top of that, you had Pokemon Quest, which probably took like a year and a half, maybe 2 years to complete as well, because it was a brand new game. You had to make all the new models for it and all that stuff, so that probably took maybe a year and a half, 2 years to make. It wasn't probably a big project to make, but it was still something. So that again, add that back, for 2018, go back 2 years, 2016, that's when that Let's Go started development. Again, when you combine all this together, you've had them make several games at the same time. So would it really be that surprising to just assume that they may, just may, also have gotten their leaks, the people who got the leaks, got them a little bit scatterbrained, and it's all over the place, right? Where some stuff is real, some stuff is fake, and some stuff is just, being confused for another part. So this could all just be pieced together information. The island gameplay with gym leaders and Elite Four Island can be played entirely on handheld and can be blown up on the terminal for home play. The mainland is an MMO-like environment that is exclusive to the terminal and is shared by both versions. Players all over the world online can chat, trade, intermingle, and experience new updated storylines on the mainland. Just to wrap up, these rumors came out years ago. It's very interesting that it gives away aspects of the Nintendo Switch, which we knew nothing about back then. Let me know what you guys think. And again, people, were responding to be too detailed for a rumor from 3 years ago. Don't really buy it. Will you buy it when it comes out, though? No, but, like, this is, like, again, like, this guy, I'm not sure if he's getting the point. This was from 4 years ago. This was from 4 years ago. I mean, of course, when this was posted 10 months ago, this was like, what, at the end of, like, 2017, start of 2018, when this guy posted this post, back then, it was 3 years ago for this rumor. But again, 3 years ago, and there still seems so much information in here that seems to have actually turned out being real in one way or shape, no matter what what way you twist it. Which then gets us back to this, guys. So, why is this image very intriguing to me? Why does this image get me excited? Because, guys, it's Game Freak. They will put in small hints. They'll do little weird things, little quirky little things, to hint at stuff. To, put these things in our little brain without us knowing. I mean, remember, guys, Masuda was catching, he had an Eevee as his follower Pokemon in Pokemon Go. And, he was posting a bunch of weird tweets about Pokemon Go all of a sudden, before Let's Go Pikachu Let's Go Eevee were even revealed. He was posting stuff, and he even had, the date for the reveal in his, countdown to his incense in Pokemon Go. His incense countdown was actually the exact number for the day that the actual reveal was going to happen, which was really weird, right? Really, really weird. But hey, it happens. So, is there anything else in this image? Well, this was something that was noticed by ya boy, Eduardo, who said right here that also low-key Mew hanging from the center of the tree while the globe shows South America. Yeah, of course. Yeah, right there. You got Mew hanging, which I mentioned right there. Boom, chakalaka. I'm not sure if there's anything else in here. Of course, I found an eye catcher. And yeah, of course, plus and minus, really likely right now, meh. It's definitely the best, the 3 options you proposed. Wonder how legendaries based on math are gonna look like, which I'm not sure if that's really gonna end up happening. But again, very intriguing, very confusing, and I feel like that's the old one, isn't it? I assume that's the old one, or that's a one in a different place, which looks nice as well. But again, the Game Freak one, it's not that it looks nicer, it's just that it's more intriguing. I mean, it does gonna look really cool though when you look at it full scale. You know what I mean? This looks pretty sick, dude. It's pink. I like that. Man, this gets me really intrigued, dude. This gets me really intrigued. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. What do you think about this? Let me know what you guys, what your thoughts are, all that. Also, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a change in video very soon, guys. I've got a few things that I need, I've ordered in terms of graphics and stuff that will be, changing kind of the way we do things here on the channel in terms of these videos that, rumor based and all that. I'll try to upgrade the quality a little bit. Of course, right now it's just me, talking, but I'll try to do a few things, a few changes, just to make it a little bit more, interesting to look at as well while you're listening. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, though. My name's been Ruffle Rowlet, and I will catch you all the next time. Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.